He'll probably put his YouTube channel down there, so you guys, you can favorite him. Like I said, he records. There we go, right there. He records a lot of the shows on the app each and every single week. And just to kind of let you know, guys, this is a show that we do every single week. Speaking of, it's called Gratitude, every Monday night at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And what the show is about is just finding people who wish to show more thanks during their life. You know, each week we have guests that recall, you know, circumstances, people, and memories that have humbled them, that help them reflect and grow through the act of gratitude. And that's certainly something that we're doing over in this neck of the woods. And guys, certainly if you get a chance, please try to check out all the amazing content, amazing you know, show creators that we have every single week, Monday through Thursday. Please be sure to look at the banner under training. You'll see all the people that are doing shows and everything that everybody's doing every single week. So certainly just try to support everybody. We got cooking shows, we got entertainment shows, we have exercise shows, singing, talent shows. So there's pretty much really everything for anyone. And so like I said, guys, a lot of great content on the app, and certainly just try to support it as much as you can. What we try to do every single week is we try to start the show with a quote. And this week's quote, guys, is this: in the rush to return to normal, use this time to consider which parts of normal are worth rushing to. Let me say that one more time, guys. In the rush to return to normal, use this time to consider which parts of normal are worth rushing back to. So I don't know about you guys, but that certainly hits me a little bit different. And, you know, as we go into last week's reflection of the topic of family, I want to welcome an amazing gentleman, certainly someone that I just recently came across here recently that, you know, just a beast on the app, certainly a wonderful personality. He's probably going to be somewhere down the road a future top badge. I mean, I really genuinely say that. He's just got a great personality. I want to just welcome him to the box right now. Mr. Chillin 702.
For having me, my friend.
What's going on, brother? What's up? Happy Monday to you, man. Hope you had a great weekend with your family. I don't know if some people celebrate Easter or not, but I hope you had a great holiday with your family. And
yeah, it was fun, man. You know, we did an Easter egg hunt, all that good stuff. How was yours?
It was great, man. It was nice to just kind of, I was still working, but it was still nice to, you know, reflect on certainly what the holiday was and what it means to so many different people and all that good stuff. Right. So, if you kind of want to just introduce yourself, man, to anybody that's unfamiliar with you, anybody that you'd like to share about yourself, streaming-wise, personality-wise.
Let me first take the time to thank you, Mr. Jamison. I am honored and grateful for you to even have me up on your show, man. I'm a huge fan. You know, I support you, and thank you for that introduction. Everybody, how's everybody doing today? I am Chillin 702. Some of y'all know me, some of you don't, people. You know, on my stream, I just like to do topics. You know, we talk about relationships, like, can a relationship be saved when somebody cheat? Is flirting considered cheating, you know, or, you know, little strong questions about that. And today I believe we're going to talk about family, because, you know, that a lot of people, hey, Christina, there's a lot of, you know, that's something that a lot of people like to go around and use. So, yeah, I don't know, you just want me to dive right into it, or?
Well, absolutely. I mean, that's what kind of what we were talking about, guys, is just, you know, certainly the topic of family and really, you know, how humble we can be and appreciative of, you know, being grateful. I know sometimes people, don't necessarily come from a strong family background. Some people do. And I think it's certainly important that, you know, people have to sometimes acknowledge that, you know, family can make or break you. It doesn't necessarily for everybody, but it certainly can help, you know, pave, you know, the pathway of what you're trying, you know, to have in your life and, you know, your morals and things like that. So when you think about family, man, when you think about, you know, what that really means to you, what first jumps out at you?
So, I come from a married family. My mom and dad have been married since I was born. You know, I'm the youngest. I got 3 older sisters, and I'm the only boy. So it's amazing that I survived, right? But the thing with family, though, people, some people would say that it would take blood to make family, but that's not always true. Like there are friends that I have, there are even people I met on this app that I truly consider my family. And the thing about it, y'all, my parents taught me to where you really got to go by a person's actions. Just because a person is family, they will automatically feel entitled, if you dig what I'm saying, to the point to where, I don't know, you ever been in a position, which I recently had, I felt like certain family members will only call me when they need something. You know what I'm talking about? Instead of saying, hey, how you doing? How's your day going? It'll be like, hey, how you doing? Hey, do you think I could get $200?
Right.
Every once in a while you let it slide, right? But you got to be careful about that because sometimes people are funny. It's like, imagine telling somebody yes all the time, right? You're there for them through everything. But the moment you tell them no, it's like the only thing they remember is that one no. Oh my God, oh, you ain't there for me. You ain't. You're like, wait, what? Well, every other time. So what I'm saying is, people, you got to watch people actions because a lot of times people just want to be around you because they benefit off of you. Now,
Right.
when it comes, I'll say one more time. A lot of people want to be around you because they benefit off of you sometimes. So you got to watch that. Now, when it comes to family, people, I get it. We got cousins, we got our mom, we got our dad, we got our sisters. So we want to be there for them. Absolutely, they're there for us. But if we're going to be honest, sometimes you gotta love certain family members from a distance
Yeah.
because I'm gonna be honest, like, God forbid something happened to me, and if I had to give my account information, like my bank account information, to either one of my sisters or a certain friend, I would give it to my friend because my sister's a good person, but she might go into my account and be like, wait, hold on, he got how much? Well, let me take this, and but a certain friend would do that, and so it's like that. So what I'm saying is, some family you gotta love from a distance. Yes, love them, be there for them, but you gotta watch somebody movement because I've seen times to where it's like this, people. I'm gonna try to put it simple, 'cause I don't want to become repetitive, but it seems like we give a lot of love out, meaning that we're there for everybody. We would put that person first, knowing damn well that they would not do half of the things that we do for them. So what I'm saying is, people, all that love that you're giving out, make sure that you're also giving that to yourself as well. Make sure that you're taking time to spoil yourself.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go tit for tat because I get it. When we do nice things for people, we just want to do it because it's natural.
Yes.
That's fine. But people, you got to, you don't want to be a fool. You don't want to be played along with it.
Right.
Like with me, it's like this. People, people go out the way to show love, this and that. Now when I give love, I don't expect nothing back. Because if I expect something back, it's not genuine. But people understand it is still nice to hear somebody say, hey, thank you. Hey, I appreciate you.
Right.
Sometimes people just taking just whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think a lot of people sometimes, and you made a great point at the start of the show where and it even says in my bio, you don't have to be blood to be family.
You do
And
not.
I think that you hit the nail right on the head when you say that people like to have the accountability. People like to have words of affirmation. They like to know that what they do is appreciated, and what they do for other people is appreciated back. And so, I think it's a very huge cycle that a lot of people tend to, especially maybe in the pandemic with so many different things going on, it makes us become more inward.
Right.
And I think that it has, for some people, allowed them to be a little selfish in some ways and kind of think of yourself. And I think it's really important, like you said, to know what your family is, to know
Right.
what your surroundings are.
Because and the main thing is, like, we all got fear, people. Fear is a normal thing. I would say one of my biggest fear is to be old and alone. But and the reason why I say that is because about last year, my uncle passed away, right?
Wow.
And him and my mom did not have the best relationship. Nothing deep. It just, he would never, take them out when, like take them to a movie, spend time with them when they was young. He was just be about, what can you do for me? What can you do for me? So as time went on, they kind of grew apart. But what opened my eyes is when his funeral came, my mom, and maybe two other people are the only ones that showed up to his funeral. And we was trying to understand, and his son was there, and his son was like, yeah, nobody wanted to come. I said, I don't understand. And then he's like, well, to be honest, he wasn't there for everybody. He wasn't the type that would call and check on stuff. He would want everybody to check on him. He would want everybody to do this. But people, you got to watch your actions, y'all, because a lot of times, like with me, to me, a true friend or family member to me is someone that tells me not what I want to hear, but what I need to hear.
Yes.
And you got to stop surrounding yourself around people that's going to tell you what you want to hear. You need to be around people that's going to tell you what you need to hear. Sometimes we do things not realizing that we're being rude, we're being selfish. Sometimes people got to call you out on your stuff. And so when I was sitting there thinking, I was like, wow, you you really get out there, make sure that you're giving love to everybody, giving that same love that people are giving you. Because at the end of the day, y'all think that kids don't, even when it comes to kids, you think that kids don't remember or don't realize that people remember everything. And when they get older, sometimes they don't want to have nothing to do with you. So just make sure that, you're being there for them as much as they're there for you. And I would say this real quick, not to go too deep. And when we go through things, right, we want to vent, we want to talk to people about our problems. I get that. But people understand this. What I had to learn the hard way. Sometimes the one that is smiling the most and that's there for everyone is one that is hurting the most. It's one that truly needs someone to be there for them. So what I'm saying is make sure, even though you're going to that one friend or that family member, telling them about your problems, oh my God, I'm going through this. Oh my God, I'm going. Make sure that you take the time to ask them, hey, how are you doing? Hey,
Yeah.
no, seriously, how are you doing? How are you feeling? How are things?
Yeah.
Because I had a close friend to where I remember always everybody would go to her for a problem, everybody be that, but kind of found out later on, she was going through some stuff that I wish I knew earlier, because maybe I could have saved her. But that's funny. But people will put on this fake smile. So just make sure that you're actually checking on those that are smiling the most. Ask them, when was the last time you asked your best friend or your cousin or someone, hey, how are you doing? Are you okay? How about you tell me your problem? 'Cause a lot of time people, when somebody's going through shit, I'm sorry, when people are going through stuff, they don't really want to hear, oh, well, what you should have done was this, or what you should have done was this and that. Sometimes they just want you to listen. Sometimes they just need you to listen. People, they don't want to hear about what they should have done. But that, just make sure that you're listening.
Completely.
Because how can you learn anything if you're always talking?
You're not listening. Right. Guys, anybody new here? This is a show that we do every single Monday night. It's called Gratitude. And what this show is about, guys, is just finding people who show more thanks during their life. And each week we have two guests that recall circumstances, people, and memories that have humbled
Thank
them.
you so much, Coach.
To help them reflect and grow through the act of gratitude. And we just wanted to welcome you to this, guys. There's a lot of shows on the app. Like I said, a lot of great content, a lot of people putting in a lot of work, time and energy and effort in the shows that do each and every single week. So if you get an opportunity Monday through Thursday, please check out the trending at the top and the banners. There's a lot of people, like I said, that put a lot of content into what they're doing, and just stop in for just 5-10 minutes. There's certainly a lot of different things on the app that a lot of people could, really get out of, cooking shows, talent shows, dating shows, exercise shows. There's a lot of things on the app. So like I said, just pop in and just try to support these people. And as we're having right now, we got Mr. Chillin in the box. We're talking to him about family and how certainly that is important and how we're really grateful for that. As I was talking about, myself at the beginning of, the show, I've, like yourself, I've been very fortunate enough to come from a good family. I've been very fortunate enough to still have my mom and dad been married for a very long time. And, I think that, like you said, family is important. The people that, certainly that you want to continue to grow in your own life, you want to continue to surround yourself with.
Absolutely.
And, you don't necessarily, like we were saying, you don't have to be blood to be family.
You do not.
But it is important, to keep the right people around you, to have the right character, to have the right mindset. And it certainly can affect so many different things in your life that people don't necessarily realize. It's a lot of things under the surface.
Absolutely.
Well, sometimes it's on the surface, it really depends on
person agree
the character and the family that you have.
No, it's like what he's saying. People like, you got to really watch your actions. I believe, like, I'm a dad. I got two kids. My son is 15 and my daughter is 7.
Wow.
And I would notice that my parents were great parents, but my dad, he smoked a lot, right? Like my dad would smoke cigarettes and I just hate the smell of it. But it's funny because he was always tell me, son, don't you ever smoke. Don't smoke. It's bad for you. I'm like, you smoking a pack a day. So what I'm saying is people, you got to really watch what you do and say. Like my parents were great parents like that, but you want to lead by example. When you're telling a kid to not do something, but you're doing it, it's a little confusing. So just make sure, I get, like my parents would say, don't do as I do as I say. I get that, but you want to lead by that. That's why I don't smoke. I really drink. I don't want my kids to do that. But like I said, man, I come from a good family, married. I would just say, me and my mom, we had our ups and downs. But my mom, she was a great mom. But I don't know you ever had that situation to where we get it. Like, we're human. Sometimes people get frustrated, but sometimes in that frustration, they let their emotions control them and they say things that they should not say. And my
We're
mom,
all guilty of it.
my mom was a tight, great mom, but when she would get mad, she would say, some negative stuff that really shouldn't be said, where my dad would have to intervene. But the thing about my mom was stubborn, but she loved us. So what my mom would do when she would do something wrong, she would never apologize. Her apology would be, hey, let's go to the store and you get you whatever you want. Let me get you whatever you want. Now that was sweet, people, but understand you can't. The answer is not always giving your kid what they want. A lot of times, you got to give them what they need. Yes, I want this new game. Yes, I want that, but it does not make the situation better. Talk to your kids. Make sure that you're actually there. Make sure you're listening, because sometimes kids are really just looking. Sometimes kids want to really talk to you, but they just don't know how to say it. So just make sure you're actually being there. You're actually watching. You got to watch a kid's action. Watch what they do, what they say. And what I had to learn as a parent was when a kid make a mistake or do something, you don't want to discipline them to the point that they're afraid of you or they're scared to come to you. You want them to feel comfortable to come to you with things. So that's why when my kids come to me with something, they may have made a mistake, I'll try not to blow up, because you want them to continue to come to you, but you want to actually teach them and show them, like, hey, this isn't right. This is how you should do that. But they come to you with a problem. You're like, well, da, 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 da. They're not going to come to you again, because they're like, well, gosh, shit,
Right. Well, I mean, like you said, you want to lead by example.
Lead by example.
And it's certainly at a young age, especially for kids, their minds are like sponges. Everything that they see, everything that they hear, everything they listen to, they pull that. They see what this situation is and what that situation is. And certainly if you don't have the right, leadership, the right guidance, the right family for children to be around, then that can certainly influence them in ways that you don't really want them to. And so, like we've both been talking about, especially is family is really an integral part of life and growth. And, there's some people that weren't necessarily blessed with great families, and you do have to go through the trials and tribulations of life and being able to learn, certainly, the hard knocks. But, that every situation is different for people,
It really is.
It really is. And you have to learn from your experience.
Right. And people always say that. And what you said was very big. And I would say also, everyone, try not to judge a person so quick as far as their beliefs or whatever the case is, because sometimes you got to walk through their shoes to understand why they feel that way. Right. Sometimes a person may say something as far as they might agree. They might be like, oh, well, if I'm in that position, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Before you be so quick, like, oh my God, what's wrong with you? Why would you think like, try to understand where they come from first. Maybe, something, they went through something big as a kid. Cause us, the moment somebody say something that we don't like, people are so quick to just jump on them, bully them. But maybe try to, understand a little bit. Hey, okay, why do you feel that way? Instead of just, oh my gosh, you're evil. Just talk. Right. Because everybody has a story. Everybody has a story.
Absolutely. I think, like you said, is certainly, and family can be a big part of that. You have to look at what people are going through. You have to sometimes put yourself in other people's shoes, even when you can't see that. Like, not everybody is cut from the same cloth. Not everybody has the same beliefs. And family can be certainly a huge thing, like we were talking about with that. And that's the unique thing about people in general, is that so many people come from so many different walks of life.
Right.
And, it doesn't mean that what worked for you worked for me. But we can certainly, from our family and our perspective of how, we were raised and how we try to continue to grow, we try to look at things, in a respectful way. Sometimes you have to agree.
I don't know, like this person might like golf. I might hate golf or like baseball, but it's reasons behind that, though.
Yeah.
So absolutely. And Jamison, once again, bro, I truly do appreciate you having me up on here, man. I'm loving the conversation.
Well, absolutely, man. I appreciate you being here. And, do you have anything that you'd like to add in closing? Anything you want to share with anybody?
Well, first off, a shout out to everybody. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, country. Thank you, everybody, for having me. Once again, thank you to this gentleman right here. Since the first day I met Jamison, it's been nothing but love. I mean, he been teaching me a lot about the app as well. I'll come to him with my question. He's always just very respectful. Hey, brother, what you need? Yeah, man, come to me. Sometimes you may ask somebody a question. They're just like trying to rush you. It's never no rush. It's just time. So I want to say thank you for that number as well. And then uplifting words would be, hey, people, love is a beautiful thing. Love is a beautiful thing. Understand. It's okay to fall in love. It's okay to be in love. But never fall so deep in love with someone that you forget to love yourself. Okay? Never fall so deep in love with somebody that you forget to love yourself. Everybody, thank you, everyone. Thank you for having me. Hey, Jamison, hey, we got to do this one again. But thank you,
hey, guys, please hit this gentleman. Please hit this amazing gentleman with a favorite. He's such a great dude. Definitely try to check out his streams. He has a huge personality on his stream as well. And please hit him with a favorite and try to support him as much as you can. And again, man, thank you so much for taking the time to be here. Thank you so much for sharing personal, vulnerable stories about your life and your family.
Hey man, like I said, like we say, it doesn't take blood to make family. Like I said, Jamison, hey, I consider you like my brother, man. That's the honest truth. So I appreciate you, man. Keep doing your thing. Loving it. Thank you, everyone. Hey, it was a pleasure talking to y'all. Hopefully, we'll meet up again.
Absolutely. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Wow, guys. Such a great conversation about family and certainly what it means to, have that sense of just your life and what it means to surround yourself with the right people. Like he was saying, you don't have to be blood to be family. You don't have to, be, with the same last name to really, appreciate and understand what it means, to be that. So guys, please hit him with a favorite right there in the comment section. It was certainly just a wonderful conversation to have with him. Again, guys, if you're new here, this is a show that we do every single week, Monday night, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's called Gratitude. And the show's about, just finding people who wish to show more thanks during their lives. In my life, each week we have guests that we call, circumstances, people, like we talk about family and memories that have humbled them, that have humbled me, to help reflect and grow through the act of gratitude. And so that's what we were talking about, with the reflection from last week. This week's topic, guys, this is going to be an interesting topic as well. The topic for this week, guys, is back to the new normal. And just to kind of give you a little bit of idea of what I mean by that is, how things are being, kind of going back to normal right now in life, and they're lifting some of the COVID restrictions and all that. What does that mean? What does it mean to go back to that? And we're going to get into a great conversation with an amazing person. I'm going to welcome her to the box at this time. She is a great person, and we'll get into this as we talk to her. Miss Christy Sita. Christy, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you? Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for taking the time, you and Chillin' both. I know that, everybody has life and jobs and kids and family going on. And so, to take the time to be here on a Monday night of the all nights, I just want to thank you again for being here.
Of course. I'm so happy to be here.
Just to give you a little bit of an intro, guys, she's an amazing, huge social media person. She has a tremendous following, guys, on TikTok. She probably has 2 million followers, 146,000 followers, 2 million likes. So, definitely hit her up on TikTok. She's doing amazing things over there. She also, guys, as we were talking about show content and show creators, she has an amazing show as well. She has a show on Wednesday night, guys, and I want to make sure this is right, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Is that correct?
Yeah.
It's called No Limits with Christy.
Limitless with Christy, yeah.
Okay. And if you want to kind of just sort of share a little bit about that, just to kind of let people know, what's going on in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, of course. My name's Christy. I stream every single night, and I have a show on Wednesdays, like you said, 6 p.m. So it is a workout show. We do both a home workout as well as chat at the end, kind of similar to, just sitting here chat with you. I bring on a guest at the end as well, and we talk about something either encouraging or challenging. It's always one of the two, always pushing forward to be the best version of ourselves. And, I get the name Limitless from my stories. I'm just going to intro that a little bit because I feel like people don't know me until they know my stories. So when I was 16 years old, my whole life I wanted to be a professional dancer, and that was all I wanted to do. So when I was 16, I was out on a boating trip, if you guys know what tubing is. So we were at a point in the day, 16 years old, the tube fell out of the back of the boat. My initial reaction was, oh no, the tube. So I reached backwards. My hand got tangled in a rope, and then the tube submarined. I ripped out of the back of the boat, and my hand essentially completely ripped off my body. So I am now a left-hand amputee since I was 16, but it didn't stop me. And I think that's a big part. Well, that is a huge part of my story of, just always moving forward, being grateful for the body that I have and what I can still do. And that's what my show's all about, is Limitless with Christy. No limits. You find your way of doing things. You find your way of moving forward and making the best of what you got. Because there's always a way that we can do things, even though it might not look the same as a person beside you.
And certainly, from a personal experience, I've had the wonderful pleasure to catch and lurk a lot of your shows and see what's going on. And you have a tremendous following over there. Like I said again, you're a tremendous following on TikTok, and I just again just appreciate you being here.
Of course, thank you.
As we get into this week's topic, as I kind of explained a little bit, back to the new normal. As we sort of try to lift some things and COVID restrictions and things like that in a lot of different states, a lot of different cities, countries as well. We're getting back to what I refer to as the new normal. What is it going to be like possibly after some things go down, after things kind of cool off a little bit and we've sort of kind of recharged the batteries, shut down the engines and brought ourselves back to neutral. So, that's the kind of topic that we were talking about, was just back to the new normal. So when you think about that, what are some things that you're grateful for? What are some things that jump out at you as far as things that you think you should continue to keep? Maybe some things that, aren't that important as we're going back and really just to get into that conversation.
Yeah, for sure. I think the first thing is like that whole, I like how you said new normal, but I feel like we're not going back to anything. Like, we're going forward into what is next and what is life post COVID, because I said to myself at the beginning of all of this that I'm like, it would be a shame if I went into COVID the same way I'm coming out of it. And I don't want that. So it's like, there's so much growth opportunity in the past year and now still going. But I don't want to be that same person, and I don't want to go back to who I was before that. And I think the root of all of that is that like, we don't, I don't know what the right word is, but we don't just automatically get a job. We don't just automatically get to see our families. We don't automatically just get to see our friends. Like, those things that we treated as such normal day-to-day things that we would never think we wouldn't be able to go visit a relative or visit a friend or go to church or whatever you do on your day-to-day basis, or go to your office, that we would never think that would ever be taken away. But having that taken away, it's like, that is such a blessing to be able to drive to your friend's house or drive to your family's house. And that's something that I'm grateful for the experience not having that, because I value that so much more now, of the ability to hug my grandma, hug my grandpa, like those things that we haven't, and some of us still can't do. Like, I haven't been able to do that since the beginning, but that alone and that physical touch with like friends and family, like, it's even when you're around a mask, when you're not wearing a mask, you feel naked. So it's like being thankful for relationship and bringing that forward, of being like, this is a blessing that I get to be with my friends, that I get to be with my family, that I get to have dinner inside my house, not outside to visit with friends, So those little things, I think that's really important, is just recognizing like, we don't have a right to the life that we live. It's all a blessing that we get to do these things, because there is stuff that can come in and take it away. And, I've learned that in my story too, that you don't know what tomorrow holds, and we didn't know that COVID was coming, and we don't know if something like this will ever come again, so it's just kind of, you got to be grateful for today and recognize the blessing in today and what you get to do. And yeah,
I couldn't agree more. And you, especially for you, there were really two different types of new normal, having to adjust to the situation that you went in your personal life and with your hand, and then COVID as well. I think that, it's like when we're talking about, with Chill, and I think that as we were going through COVID, as we were going through the pandemic and things like that, that in some ways, I think people became more, reclusive with things, because, you were scared about being around family. Like you said, you didn't want to get your grandparents sick, or other people for that matter, when there wasn't really a whole lot of understanding. And now, obviously people feel a little bit better with the vaccines and some things that have kind of caught up a little bit. But, it's certainly tough to try to get back to that. Like you said, I mean, we're not going backwards, we're moving forward. And there is going to be a new normal, for me, especially, with family, not being able to sit down and have a dinner at a restaurant, is something that I've really missed a lot, because, like we were talking about with Chill, and I've always come from a family that it was really important to have that close knit relationship. And I've been very, fortunate for that, of course. And so to miss, little small things like that I think, a lot of people take for granted are going to be, something that we should try to keep moving forward, Would you agree?
Absolutely, yeah, and I think it's, it can go both ways, that we can be, it was such a shame to not be able to see them, and then I think it's even more of a shame if we go forward without this new realization of how lucky that is, and not
Yes.
to lose that, because in 5 years time we might just act like nothing ever happened. But I really don't want to go back to that. I don't want to be in like my own world. Like, I think that's one thing that for me, and kind of going on to what else is important for me to bring forward, is just like the beauty and simplicity. Like, I've always been a busy, work as much as I can, train as much as I can, make as much money as I can, start as many businesses as I can. Like, my brain is always like go, 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 go. And I've really enjoyed like how much nicer spending a day at the beach with my family is, or spending the afternoon at my mom and dad's house. Like, little things like that bring me way more joy than hustling my bustle 24 hours a day. And even for me, like, I made such a permanent change. I actually used to live in the city, and I ended up moving home, buying a home in my hometown that I grew up in, because the city just didn't serve me anymore. And I just realized, man, I don't want to wait, because I don't want to be that far away from my family, and I don't want to be so caught up in my own world, of my me world, that I miss the most important things right in front of my face. And at the end of the day, that's the people I love, and that's my family, and that's relationships, and connecting with people. So
I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah.
I think that it's the little things a lot of times that I think that we can get so lost and caught up in. I mean, like you said, when we were in a normal life, the hustle and bustle of, like you said, we're trying to be successful from a business standpoint. We're trying to save. We're trying to have money. We're trying to, do all these wonderful things. And then when that kind of comes to a halt, you start looking at the other things in your life, like, wow, maybe I neglected this a little bit, or maybe I neglected that a little bit. And it starts to make you really appreciate and be grateful for, and it really, honestly, makes you humble as well.
Yeah.
That, you didn't have all that stuff now. You had it before, but, as we're moving forward, is that you ask yourself, you look back and you say to yourself, is that really still important? Is that really something that I consider a priority? Is that really something that is in the top 3 for me every single day when I wake up? And so those are the things that I feel like for myself, especially moving forward, are going to be things that I want to continue to ask myself, is that going to be the case? Because, as you go through that, you don't want to get back in the routines, for me especially,
Totally. And just like that, there's so much that can come out of moments of rest too.
Right.
And it's okay to rest. And sometimes, you're going to get more work done the following week if you work 6 days and take that 7th day to just rest and be still and be, human for a day around people, and love people and serve people in whatever way you can. I think we sometimes get caught up in I need to be busy all the time. I need to be around people all the time. I don't know how to be alone. Like, all of that it's, you want to take that forward, being like, I recognize who I am as a different person after I have these moments of stillness, and after I have these moments of rest, and what recharges you, whatever that is, because I feel like everybody's recharged in a different way.
They really are. Yeah. I couldn't agree more. I mean, it really is, because, and that's the whole purpose of that, is to recharge. You have to do that. You have to take time to look at it and say, look, this is what I got to do. This is what I gotta shut down the engines, bring myself back to neutral, recharge the batteries, and come out, on the other side, refreshed, renewed, and be the, the best version that you can of yourself, not for, just yourself, but, for your family, your friends. And I think that's tough to do. I think, for myself personally, as you go through what we were going through right now, and trying to get back to the new normal, you can sometimes get caught up in your own life. Just being to yourself, not necessarily thinking about, well, maybe I need to hit up this person, or maybe I need to just give him or her a call. And you start becoming very complacent. And I think that that's normal for people sometimes. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think too, we remind, when we do make that chance to reach out to somebody and check in with somebody, you're also checking in on yourself, because no matter what, serving people is always going to affect you in a positive way. So if you can love somebody, and if you can send out some sort of message that's encouraging and loving to somebody, you're going to feel the actual effects of that just as much as the person receiving the text message or the call or whatever that is. So sometimes it's also getting out of, your head of, I don't want to do this, and even that, I feel like sometimes I've had that of being like, well, they didn't check in on me, so why should I check in on them? They're not reaching out to me. But it's like, no, you gotta push forward, and you gotta be a good person, and you gotta check in, because you're also reaping the reward of checking in with somebody else and loving somebody else. So
I think for me especially too, I've been guilty of that at times where, in order to have friends, you have to be a friend.
yeah.
You can't just expect people to hit you up all the time. You have to go out of your way to give someone a call, to check on somebody, just to send them a quick text message. You don't necessarily have to get on the phone for a half hour, but you can just say, hey, look, hey, girl, or hey, dude, I'm
Yeah.
just checking on you. I just want to see how you're doing. Certainly have you on my mind. And, for a lot of people, especially with what we're going on right now and trying to get back to a new normal, that can mean so much. That can mean the difference in someone having a rough day. You don't know what people got going on in their life every day. And being able to just do that little small thing to just say, hey, look, dude, I'm thinking of you, or hey, girl, just wanted to see what's going on in your life, could certainly just be the make or break thing for somebody's day.
I mean, we know how we feel when we get those messages, when a friend or a family member, and you're like, wow, that was so kind of that person, and to take that moment. So I think that's really, really important to check in on people. Absolutely.
Yeah, it certainly is. Guys, if you're new here, this is a show that we do every single Monday night, guys. It's called Gratitude, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time every Monday. And what we do is we talk about finding people who wish to show thanks during their life. Each week's guest, we recall circumstances, people, memories that have humbled them, that help them reflect and grow through the act of gratitude. And that's what we're doing, is talking with Christy right now. Is just, how important it is to getting back to the new normal. We're trying to get back as a society, as a country, as a nation, and trying to get back to where we were. But as we think about where we were, we have to sort of ask ourselves, is that where we want to be? Or do we need to figure out that there really are important things in our life that we need to have moving forward? And so that's a great discussion that we're having with her. When you kind of think about that, what advice do you give to people that you feel like, if they were to ask you, what do you want to accomplish, in the rest of 2021, 2022, as far as, living your best version of your life and getting back to that?
I think for me, the biggest thing for one, I think everybody should take the time to evaluate what your life was before, and evaluate who you are, and face the things that are holding you back and tormenting you, and keeping you in unforgiveness, and whatever that is that you're kind of in a cage is address those things and really walk through them, because that's the only way you're going to be able to move forward into this next new normal. And I think for me, a big thing was I used to be extremely selfish. I didn't check in on my family. I was in my own world. I didn't care what my sister was doing. I didn't care really what my family was doing. It was all, me. And I was serving myself and doing my own thing. And my biggest thing for 2021 is I want to completely flip that, and which I've been working on in the last year, because I just want to love as many people as I can, and lift up as many people as I can, and let people know that. And I think that's something in these times that a lot of people feel really not seen and not acknowledged and not recognized and not valuable and not loved. And I think that is the key to my heart and to people, is to let them know that we see you and I see you and people love you and you're needed here. And I think more people need that message now more than ever, because there's a lot of mental stuff going on in this generation, and stuff that they see and stuff that torments people. So I think I just want to love people as much as I can, serve people as much as I can, and be as vulnerable and authentic in every way. So for me, that's a full 180 from the person that I used to be, right? Because I was my way or the highway going forward, and I'm like, man, this is so not important, but it's actually not serving me at the end of the day. I don't feel fulfilled. I don't feel happy. I'm just in my own lane, ignoring everybody around me. But you gotta look around. You gotta, recognize that other people are hurting and other people are broken and other people need friends and family. And I think that's what's so cool about this app, is that you really do get to, meet people and acknowledge people and make people feel loved and seen and part of your family and part of your community, which I love so much. So yeah, I think that's the biggest thing for me, is so assess who you are, assess what you want, assess what you don't want, assess your life before and what you want that to look like after, and take that time, because it takes time and it's not going to happen in one sitting session. You're I'm going to reassess my whole life, but be conscious. What words are you speaking over yourself? What's going on in there? What are you saying? Are you speaking death over your life? Or are you speaking life over your life? Like, are you negative Nancy, or are you trying your best to do something positive or to, move forward in a good light? So take the time, be cautious, be aware of what's going on in your mind and in your heart. Don't run away from it. Face it and be like, okay, there's a way out of it. You can walk through situations. You can heal. You can, find good people around you. And good people is so essential in any, wherever you find them, whether they're on here, whether they're in real life. You need people in your life. You can't do it alone for long. You can do it alone for a little bit, but you need people, and you need community, and you need people to, like we said, check in on you and be there for you and continue to do life with you. So I don't know if that answers it, but that's kind of.
You're definitely resonate with me for sure. I think that it's important to understand that you need to surround yourself with the right people. You need to also be that best version of yourself for other people as well. Sometimes you can get kind of caught up in situations and have good intentions, but you can kind of fall short of that. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to get past that. You have to be able to apologize and forgive people and move on from that, and continue to just do what you can for people. And people really appreciate that kind of stuff. When you're genuine, when you're honest, when you have some integrity, when you try to live by certain morals and values, people appreciate that. People want to resonate with that. People want to be around that kind of people or kind of person. And so I think that you have certainly said some wonderful advice. I think that's sometimes a struggle that I have every day, is to continue to reach out. Don't just live in my little bubble, my little own little world, and try to branch out more and realize that there are a lot of people that care about you. There are a lot of people that want to be there for you, and you gotta embrace that. You get what I'm saying? You have to embrace it.
And I think too, I was gonna say this earlier, but I totally brain farted. But there's this quote that I totally remembered throughout this year, is that, not that we're at our deathbed, but at the end of your life, you're never gonna say, bring me my bank account, bring me my trophies, bring me my house, bring me my possessions. It's always gonna be, bring me the people who I love the most. And so I think that's something to think about always, is that at the end of the day, at the end of everything, people is most important. It's more important than your job. It's more important than your bank account. It's more important than all these big things that we try to possess in life. But at the root of it, we got to love people, and we got to be there for people. And so I love that quote, because I'm just like, I'm striving all of this, but this could be my tomorrow at the end of the day. So it's just kind of a little bit of a reality check, but just being like, people are most important.
I love it. It's so well said. And it was such a unique topic, as I was thinking about that, and discussing that with some people of the topic for that, because, I want to have a new normal. I want to be able to go back to concerts, spend more time with family, friends, get outside of my iPad and get outside of my phone a little bit and get back to some reality. But, like you said, you want to make sure that what you're trying to do and the emphasis that you put on that stuff are things that are important, things that are going to benefit your life, things that are going to make it better. And also surround yourself with great people and amazing people. You don't want to be around people all the time that are going to bring you down, be negative Nancy's, and not uplift you. You want to just surround yourself with, the right situations for you and other people.
Absolutely. That's so good. That's so important.
Yeah. Anything you want to add in closing? Anything you want to leave anybody with? Anything you want to tell people to help them, get back to their new normal?
I just I deal most with youth, I guess, in my life, and young adults, and just, I guess, at the end of the day, just know you are so valuable, and you have so much purpose, that it's like, if you're still here, no matter how hard and rough your circumstances or what's going on, you're not done. There is life ahead for you, and there's healing ahead for you, and there's love ahead for you, that it's like, you got to believe in that and try your very best to believe that with all your heart, because there's a reason you're here. You have a purpose. You're loved, even when you might not feel like it. And, there's no, you can't put a price tag on you. You're completely valuable, priceless, whatever the word is. But, your life has so much meaning. So just push through, be the best that you can, get around good people, speak life over yourself, get rid of those voices the best that you can, be honest, talk about what's going on in your life. You got to talk about it to get over it and to heal from it. So talk to some people, And yeah, I guess that's kind of it.
No, thank you for that perspective. I mean, I love it. I love to be able to have a great conversation and a vulnerable, genuine conversation like this. This is certainly, a great show and a great platform to have, something like this to be able to do each and every single week. Guys, please share her with the favorite. She's an amazing person. Like I said, she's killing it on TikTok. Definitely go over there and check her out on there. Like I said, she's got 2 million likes, 146,000 followers. So she must be doing something right over there. Please hit her on the favorite here. Check out her show again Wednesday nights at 6 o'clock. You really want to get some really good physical activity in there and check out what she's doing. You're certainly going to love that. And again, I just want to thank you so much for being here and taking the time.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm really honored that you brought me on, and I absolutely love what you do. I think this is so important. This topic is so important, and just having people on to have real conversations. We need so much more of that. So thank you for doing what you do and bringing me on tonight. I'm really honored.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Wow, guys, what a conversation. What two great, amazing people for the show tonight. I just had such a pleasure to be able to talk to them and be able to learn more about, their life and what family meant and what, getting back to the new normal meant for them. So great topics, great people, great conversations each and every single week. Just want to reflect with the audience again on the quote. This was the quote that we had was, "In the rush to return to normal, use this time to consider which parts of normal are worth rushing back to." Let me read that one more time, guys. In the rush to return to normal, use this time to consider which parts of normal are worth rushing back to. That certainly hits with me and resonates with me very well. I love that. It was so well said. And wow, what a quote. Guys, next week's topic, we're going to try to find 2 more amazing guests. And like I said, if you're interested in being on the show, please hit me up on my profile. My Instagram link is there. You can come check me out, hit me up a message on Instagram, and we'll certainly be able to discuss, some topics and things like that. So next week's topic, guys, is integrity. That's the topic we're going to go with. I think that can certainly hit on a lot of different cylinders with so many different people. I think it's important to have the integrity. I think it's important to have the values and the morals and standards that you want to have. And so, to get into that conversation with people, I think is going to be certainly a very eye-opening experience, just like tonight's conversation was with 2 incredibly awesome people. And I just want to thank you guys so much for being here. Such a great show. 2 amazing people. Like I said, please hit Christy with that favorite again. Please hit Chillin' with that favorite again. And I just want to thank you guys so much for being here. Like I said, next week's topic is going to be integrity. I'm super excited to get into that. And guys, again, thank you so much for being here. That's a show. That is a show. Wrapped up. So good. Jen, thank you. Christine, Leanne, Fireflies, what's up, brother? Man, what a show. I love it. Absolutely love it. Man. What's going on? Cassandra, Simply, Christine, thank you again. Thank you, hon. Thank you, Cassandra. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much. Man. What great conversations tonight, guys. I loved it. Jessica, what's up? Oh, thank you. I'm great. Just finished up a show. We do a show every single, guys, Monday night, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's called Gratitude. And definitely try to tune in. We have amazing people on each and every single week. Very, very appreciative to be able to bring a show like that to the app and to be able to have real conversations with so many people. I love it. It's so great. Yeah, really was, Meg, honestly. Like every single week, it's great to have people that are awesome and want to have great conversation. I love it every week. Thank you for the 100. Thank you for the baby shark. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for the rose. Man, what do you guys think about tonight? What's your guys' honest opinion? I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Let me stay on for just a couple more minutes. Let's go with everybody still in here? Oh, YouTube is down. Oh yeah, dude, you're good, bro. Yeah, you're good, man. Absolutely good.